If the 8 senators who were spied upon sue the hell out of the Department of Justice and the perpetrators involved, will that facilitate their investigation and or yours? I guess what I'm getting to is I don't understand why we don't have a separate hearing. I find this breathtaking.
Yeah. It's just been 24 hours since the FBI investigated on it. Please give me an opportunity to sort through all this.
Fair enough.
That was Senator John Kennedy pressing for answers on the Arctic frost investigation.
New details are surfacing tonight in the latest example of Biden-era weaponization of government. That former special counsel Jack Smith was tracking phone records of at least 9 GOP senators as part of the January 6th investigation. Joining us now is Louisiana Senator John Kennedy. Thank you, Senator, for coming on tonight. I have my first question. Are you upset that you're not on the list?
Look, when I first heard about the story, I thought it was satire. I thought it was some nonsense on TikTok. I'm appalled. It's unconscionable. It really is breathtaking. This is a special counsel of the Department of Justice who sought and received the phone records of 8 sitting United States senators. The telephone companies just turned them over. We have no idea what the predicate was, why the FBI and the Justice Department and Mr. Smith were asking for the records. We only found out about it because of a whistleblower. I'm shocked that Smith, I thought he was smarter than this. I mean, I've got rocks in my driveway that are smarter than this. I want to have a separate hearing. I want to call him to testify. I'd like the Attorney General Garland to come testify. I think we need to hear from former Director Wray. Mr. Smith may plead the Fifth Amendment. If I were he, I probably would, because this is serious as 4 heart attacks and a stroke. This is the sort of thing that happens in a country whose Powerball jackpot is 287 chickens and a goat. This doesn't happen in America.
Well, sadly, Senator, it seems like it does. And, you know, to President Trump's credit, he has long called out the weaponization of government, and in particular, the FBI. And I wonder, doesn't this just prove that what he's been saying all along is very much right?
Well, yes, it proves it in spades. And they hid it all. Once again, we found out about this from a whistleblower, but they haven't heard the end of it. Now the FBI and DOJ is going to investigate, but they can get the facts for us within 4 weeks. And if they decide to prosecute, we may have to back off in the Senate Judiciary Committee. But if they don't, I want to hold a special hearing. I want to issue a subpoena to Mr. Smith, to former Attorney General Garland, to former Director Wray. We're going to get to the bottom of this. And I can promise you this, I've talked to all 8 of the senators. You're going to see some civil lawsuits filed, particularly against these telephone companies who just willingly turned over the records without trying to quash any subpoena that they got.
But so far, Senator, my understanding, too, is that it doesn't just stop with your fellow senators and a congressman. It's also 92 Republican-linked groups that were also looked into by Jack Smith, as well as Turning Point USA, the organization that was founded by the late Charlie Kirk. So it seems like the inquiry knew no bounds.
Well, we're going to find out. We are. And I'm looking to the Department of Justice and the FBI to do that. And I'm not telling them whether to prosecute someone or if someone, it ought to be this person or that person. I'm telling them to follow the law. Follow the law. And I want to know why Jack Smith thought that he could go seek the phone records of 8 sitting United States senators. I want to know.